I just got home from a 9-day trip to New Hampshire. I attended Team O'Neill Rally School. I did the 5-day course. This is everything you need to know before attending their school. As you can see, we're sitting in my yard with our new red barn right behind us that we moved over here, so look out for that DIY series. Randall and I love building places like this, like we built our garage. I attended Team O'Neill's 5-day course that teaches you everything you need to know behind the wheel when it comes to driving on a loose surface, aka rally, but also a couple other things. Could be slippery conditions, bad weather, driving on the loose surface here in the desert, and UTVs. I did learn a ton, and it actually changed the way I drive forever. This is everything I personally believe that you need to know before attending the school, including what you should really expect from their program, clothing, speed, the property, how to document it if you want to record while you're there, and insight on how to approach with how many people you should bring with you or going by yourself. Something funny I picked up there on the East Coast coming from the West Coast is it's not called a rally car, it's called a rally car.
Him to drive the car.
Rally car I have.
Hands down, the most important thing to understand before attending this school is Team O'Neill is a very, very passionate group of people that really want you to build skill behind the wheel and know how to drive properly and build your instincts up on how to react quickly so that when you're driving on a loose surface, you can react, save yourself from getting in an accident, or drive really fast through the woods and rally type situations. And so that means that their program is not entertainment based, it's based on teaching you what you need to know. So it's not like you show up and you drive super fast and you're going to learn really, really quickly. They put you in slower vehicles up front. That forces you to learn the proper techniques, and there's no way around it. You're going to be itching for speed a little bit, but every day that goes by, the first day you're thinking, oh, I want to go a little bit faster, I'm dying. The next day comes around, you get to the next thing you need to learn, and then what you learned yesterday when you were itching to go faster but you couldn't, but you learned that one little part of the program so well that everything made sense the next day. So every day you stacked on more things in the perfect way so that every day your progression was super smooth and you never put yourself in harm's way, and you actually were able to process what you were doing. So by day 3 and 4 and 5, you're doing things really smooth behind the wheel for such a short amount of time, and they really squeeze your time to get you as much experience and teach you the things you know and build good habits up here. So just remember, this isn't an entertainment program. This is a program built for people who want to go race or know exactly how to drive on a loose surface. I've yet to attend any other rally school, but to my understanding, it seems like some of the other courses out there and other places and properties, they're more on the side of entertainment based. So I'm excited to learn that as we might go attend other schools and see what experiences those have to offer, and I'll share that with you guys, of course, through these videos. If you like that idea, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. But Team O'Neill really does go as in-depth as humanly possible in such a short amount of time, and it's comprehensible. It's a very impressive program they put together. There's a lot of logistics that goes into it from just a consumer standpoint, but also from a business person. It's really fun to watch and see how they do things. If you're into rally like myself, you definitely like to go fast and you have that expectation going into the school, I can tell you right away, just forget about it for the first 2 days. You might not get any sort of crazy adrenaline rush like you think you're gonna get, but it forces you to learn some things that you didn't know that you needed to know to make sure you're confident in before you start to go fast. So don't go into it thinking you're gonna go fast right away. Like I mentioned earlier, right when you catch yourself complaining in your head about wanting to change something up or go faster, the next day comes around and then everything just clicks. You're like, oh, that's why they made me do that an extra hour yesterday. So that when I do something more challenging the next day, it just clicks immediately. Don't second guess their judgment. They've done this way too much. They know what they're doing. Something simple as far as clothes go. Plan to just look up the weather, wear whatever is applicable, but make sure you wear pants and shoes and socks that you're okay with getting mud on. Getting in and out of the vehicles, they're always wetting the surface. your clothes are gonna get dirty as far as your pants, your socks, and your shoes. No big deal, but I wore the same shoes and I took 2 pairs of pants and they got dirty every day. And luckily we were at an Airbnb that had a washing machine and I was able to use that since we were there for quite a few days in a row. To have a realistic expectation, you are not gonna be driving, even in the 5-day course, any stupid fast cars. The fastest car you're probably gonna be driving is I think it's a 0203 Subaru WRX, so it's just a sedan, no wing, it has a turbo, it's a 2.5 or 2.3, I'm pretty sure it's a 2.3 liter. You have a BMW 3 Series, I think if I remember right, I don't know BMWs too well, for the rear-wheel drive platform. So nothing stupid fast, and that's not a bad thing. It's plenty fast to get yourself in a situation, and it's just the right amount of speed where you can practice all the techniques and also maintain speed, but just not get in over your head. I learned that when you add more power to each vehicle, the surface being so slippery, like cameras, videos, nothing do justice of how actually slick. You gotta think of like the muddiest road you've ever driven on, and it's so slippery you can't get any traction. That's literally what you're driving on like all week.
And we're gonna make it release the brake.
In most cases when you're learning things. And so when you add more power and like a turbo spools up, or you just have more power from the NA engine, you're just losing traction that much faster, and it really is a skill to maintain traction, and a lot of that comes from modulating the brake and the gas in unison and driving with 2 feet. And that's something that you think you might be confident in, but you're gonna leave the school 100% confident in, because I felt really good about my skill driving and everything that I know, but then I left a completely different person and I was like, wow, a completely new person behind the wheel. And I thought a lot of people I knew drove well and knew some techniques, and I don't think most people know these things that they teach you there in regards to the public. To talk about the property, I gotta pull up my notes here. So the property, holy cow. We'll do a full tour video because I've recorded everything, obviously. But Team O'Neill is a massive property. They have long-range shooting contests where you can see like a spot where they shoot a rifle from, and then like a mile away there's a target, and then there's the rally school, and there's just a bunch of stuff. The property is actually really, really rad. And Tim O'Neill, who started the place, went out and found it and bought it, and it was just like a bare mountain. And to think about how he built everything there, it's a really, really special place that's helped so many people have a blast. That's literally one of my life goals, is to have like a piece of property we can build whatever we want on, and then it just serves so many people, from helping them have fun to people who have never done motorsport stuff and they get to try it at a place that they don't have any rules or laws to break. It's just a really special place, and I'm really, really sad that it's so far from Arizona, because I'm like already itching to go back. It's just a playground. As far as the school goes, it's just a small portion of the property. They have a ton of fun roads to drive all around, everything from beginner to expert. They're real rally roads. And I don't know any other place in the country owned by rally people that has that to offer. I haven't experienced that yet. Maybe there is other places out there. In regards to the school, it's basically 2 skid pad areas and roads all around the property. You'll see as we get into the series exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. If you're wanting to document this trip, it's actually very, very difficult to be a student and someone that's documenting it. I would say the simplest setups is take a GoPro with a suction cup mount and then have your iPhone. And so how it's set up is you have one person in the back seat. There's 2 of you per instructor. One person's in the back seat watching, you drive, and then the instructor's in the passenger seat, and you do a couple runs, and then the person in the back seat and you, the driver, swap, and this instructor stays in the passenger seat and coaches you. So if you know the person in the back seat, or you just become cool with them, you can say, hey, can you just film this run for me with your phone or the GoPro, whatever it is. And then if not, you have time in between runs and stuff to like quickly stick a suction cup mount up. Filming this series for this channel was like very mentally straining on me to be a student and film it at the quality I did, but this is what I like to do for a living, so I'm excited for you guys to see that. So if you try to get too crazy with it and you're paying to be there, and you want to be a student and learn as much as you can, it might interfere. So don't be too, if you're just trying to document it at leisure, you're gonna find out very quickly that it's not something that's super casual that you can just, hey, I'm gonna go record this. It's like doing a couple runs, switch, learning a bunch, doing a couple runs, switch, take a quick lunch break, go back out, keep driving, and it's just a lot going on. So have that realistic expectation in your head. It's going to be difficult to record, but having that GoPro and a suction cup mount and your iPhone, you should be able to get everything you kind of want. And if you're younger, you might get caught up in it, and it can be rude to the instructors because they might be trying to teach you something, you're too worried about filming, you don't listen to anything they say, and then you mess up. That's really, really frustrating. There's a lot going on, and they want you to execute and learn, and they have your best interests at heart, so it's important that you give them your full attention. As far as attending alone or with a group, before attending this you might be wanting to go alone, or maybe you want to go with a group. How this works is they put 2 students and an instructor in the car. Like I said, the instructor shows you each technique first. They do 1 pass or 2 where the instructor is driving to show you what they want the car to do and how to do it, and they talk you through it. Then you hop in the driver's seat, do a couple runs, and then you switch. If there's an odd amount of people in the group you're going with, one of your friends is probably going to end up with a stranger, which everyone's usually cool who attends this. Everyone's there for the same reason. We had a blast with the other groups that were there with us that week. So it's nothing you should change plans for, but just know that only 2 of you are going to be paired in a car, and the one guy is going to have to maybe go with someone else. Or you get lucky and then there's one odd person out, and then the person who's alone with an instructor gets double the driving time. Highly unlikely, but it can happen. That's a chance you take too if you go alone, is what if you end up alone with an instructor, you get literally double the driving time. That's pretty much everything. It's really simple. There was a lot more instruction than I expected. There's less speed than I anticipated, but for good reason. And at the end of the day, my biggest takeaway is that what I know behind the wheel and my reaction times and everything I know how to do now, at the age I'm at, is so exciting. So when I go drive UTVs, when I go drive rally cars, you'll see at the end of the series how I put it to use. I'm so hooked. And the one major thing you're gonna learn is how to brake with your left foot. That changes literally everything. So hope you guys are thinking about attending this school. You're spending money to learn how to drive appropriately. You're not spending money to go have fun. You're going for the purpose of learning and just becoming a whole different person behind the wheel. It's way more expensive to have roads to drive on than you think. It's a bunch of people working, a bunch of people maintaining cars. You'll see the price points it's at, and it's for the reason being of it's expensive to make something like that happen, and it's a special place. So I hope this gives you realistic expectations and everything you need to know before attending the school. I'm excited for you if you're thinking about doing it. Hopefully you can get a friend. If not, you will still have fun alone. Look for those videos coming up where I break down each day of the course, and we're gonna have a great time doing it, and then at the end there's some exciting things that happen. It was truly an unforgettable week for myself. We did have some special occasions come up just because we have the channel, and I want to share that with you guys, and my interest aligned with some other people's on the team, and it made for a super unique week for myself that I will be forever grateful for. So look out for those videos. I'm really excited to share them with you, and the stories that we got and the awesome people we got to meet. It was one of the most humbling weeks of my entire life, and I got to check off quite a few things on my bucket list. So thanks so much. Hope this helps. Team Ono Rally School is so rad. I appreciate them there, and we'll see you in the next video.